Sister Thalia encounter the enemy. We were doing online prayer, but I decided to pray for my husband Nobuto and my son here offline. When I finished the live, I received 2 posts. It was my sister Anna Christina who congregates with us, and she sent a message saying that we resume your live prayer because Satan segmented our prayer. Sister Christina had stopped prayer to see the message of our sister who was saying that she had just had a face-to-face experience with the enemy, and we decided to record and share our Sister Thalia testimony because we found it interesting. We are living in a time of spiritual battle. I wanted to pass on to you her experience because you need to understand what is it and how things happens in spiritual battles. So I'll pass the sister and I will ask her to talk about what happened yesterday. She will report the experience that she had yesterday with Satan. It's Sister Thalia. I was in my house with a brother. I was praying and I was on my knees, when suddenly I smell the odor of sulfur. It was absolutely the smell of sulfur. The room was filled with the stink of sulfur, and that stink was intensifying more, and quickly I knew that this should be something from the enemy trying to get me scared, but that stink continued to intensify more and more. Then I stopped prayer and I got up in order to do something, and when I returned again I went back on my knee for the second time. I was on my knee praying as the smell of sulfur became stronger. Quickly I felt an evil presence approaching from the back to the door behind me, and I felt this very strong evil presence arriving there in my room. When I felt that presence I was with my eyes closed and many thoughts passed through my mind. I said, so this must be Satan or some demon that has come against me. I stayed there and I was afraid to look back where this presence was approaching. Finally I decided to look and see. When I looked back that morning, to my surprise I saw the devil in my room. If I can describe his appearance, I would say that he had 2 horns on his head, and his skin was unusual for it was very wrinkled like a purple, but his teeth were very big inside his mouth. He was dressed in an outfit that was very torn, and he was around the door of my bed. When I saw him immediately I started using the blood of Jesus. I was invoking the blood of Jesus, and I said there is power in the blood of Jesus. Immediately the devil began to talk to me. He said, I came here to make a contact with you. I want to make a contract with you. And when he said this, I got an intuition that he came to make a pact with me. He said, I want to do this covenant with you. If you accept this pact I will give new capacity, and I will use you with new signs in the middle of the congregation of brethren. When he spoke these words, I looked at him with scorn and I said, understand that I wouldn't accept your offer. Immediately I continue invoking the blood of Jesus. This experience was so intense that I was crying out in the morning prayer. The devil wanted to make an alliance with me. He insisted for me to make this alliance with him and that if I accepted this covenant he will use me with new signs in the middle of our congregation. When he made that offer I closed my eyes, and I said, Lord, comes down here and give me spiritual cover. But I kept seeing the devil there at my bedroom door. Then I quickly closed my eyes again, hoping that when I opened it he won't be there. But when I opened my eyes again to see if he was not there, I saw that he was still there. However, he had transfigured himself, for he didn't look like that horrible creatures anymore. He was now a man. In fact, he had actually transfigured into a very pretty man with a very beautiful physical appearance, and this man was there at the bedroom door. At that moment the Lord brought to my memory a passage in the Bible that speaks of Joseph, that he just ran away beyond the appearance of evil, and at that moment I closed my eyes and I started invoking the blood of Jesus. I did not want to continue looking at that man, and I kept my eyes closed and I was invoking Jesus' blood. I understood that if I continued looking at this beautiful man who was the devil, I could fall into temptation through the eyes, for Satan had transfigured to a man of extreme beauty. When I closed my eye to avoid seeing him, the Lord showed me a vision there in my room. As the devil was there, I saw a demon with a notebook in his hand and there were several names that were in that notebook. I observed well these specific names. When I was observing I saw that there was my name in this demon notebook, and I saw that this demon was a boss, for he had summoned other demons to come to him. When those other demons came to him he told them, you have the mission to destroy this bastard. These demons uttered swearing and bad word against me. They never called me by my name, they profanely called me their adversary and rivals. I saw this demon was speaking to others demon and giving them instruction against me. They had the mission of destroying me, and these demons that were given this mission spoke and said to their leader, "We will need reinforcement more than this because she has a spiritual covering." And when those demons spoke that way, the boss demon said, "Don't worry, I will send the reinforcement if necessary, but you will have to destroy this bastard's life." This boss demon used swearing words and he was insulting me. When I saw this I was worried. Right there I continued praying and crying out for the blood of Jesus. At that time I said I was with this person of my family and he is sleeping. I thought about waking my sibling so that he can help me in this big battle. I wanted to tell him about what was happening to me, for the conflict was heavy, and when I thought that way, immediately I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "No, don't tell him this." Quickly I asked the Lord, why shouldn't I contact him? I am in need of help. And when I asked that question, the Lord told me, if you tell that person everything that has happened tonight, this person would think you are going crazy. He would want to put you in a hospice, for Satan would use this strategy against me. It was this experience that I had with Satan yesterday in my house. Satan said he wanted to destroy me. He wanted to make a pact with me so that I can become ally with him, but at the time I said no, and with the blood Jesus. It was a big spiritual battle here at home in prayer. Brother, the devil screamed with rage when I rejected his offer. When I said I would not sign a pact with him, he started to scream very loudly in anger. I thought about the person that was next to me in the same room, but he heard nothing and he was sleeping because it was something that happened in the spiritual kingdom. I found it very interesting, and Satan, who was dressed with a beautiful costume, exploded like that before and he disappeared. This was Sister Thalia's experience, but I remember once when God was talking to me about television channels in my home, telling me that the devil found legality in my house because of this device, for at that time I had a TV and the devil showed up and cursed me. Then he exploded. I also had another interesting experience I wanted to speak of, for Satan came to me when I was living closed from the coast. I was in the Lord's presence and right away I smell the odor of sulfur like Sister Thalia. I knew the enemy has come. You just got to get up and do something. Get ready for prayer. When I began to smell just like our sister testify about the very strong sulfur smell in my room that was stepping up, that's when Satan arrived. Whenever the devil came to my place to attack me, I felt a very strong evil presence there in the room, so much evil that I shivered, and I started to feel bad. And when I opened my eyes and when I looked there, I saw the enemy. There were about too much spiritual battle these days. We must be switched on all the time. Even when I received the message from Sister Thalia saying this was happening, at the same time I also received the message from Sister Christina. We must recognize that we need to spend these years in prayer.